Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we are on our way to a hot day, but a seasonably hot day before temperatures really start to ramp up across the area. Temperatures ramping up in the studio because I've just learned from our chief engineer, Bill, that he's managed to meet a lot more Star Trek people than I ever have. And I'm a little upset about that because you folks at home know I absolutely love that show. And Bill just comes down here and says, guess what I've done? And I'm like, you know what? There's the door, Bill. All right, let's take a look outside before things get heated, because they're going to get heated out there. We got clear skies looking to the south from the MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line. But take a look, MoDOT camera at US 60 and Missouri 59 Neosho right before the banner came in. There's a few high clouds up there. And from our camera at the KOAM studios here just north of Crestline, it's a little harder to see with the sunlight, but we do have some increasing cloud cover out there. And that's going to be the trend. We're actually going to go to some mostly cloudy skies heading into the afternoon, but we're still going to get hot regardless. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, looking good. We're still getting that sunshine, and it's hard to see. These are kind of thin clouds right now, but they are expected to increase. So we're sitting partly cloudy in Joplin, 83. Only feels like 84, so negligible. And we have a west breeze at about 15 miles an hour. Heading over to Pittsburgh, 80 degrees, feeling like 82, so again, negligible. The west wind at about 3 out there. Dew point humidity both up there, but just not enough to really make it super uncomfortable. So we look around the area, we've got 80 in Lamar, 81 Fort Scott, Chanute, 84 Neodesha Parsons, 85 in Sedan now, 83 Miami, 82 Neosho, and we're sitting at 83 in Carthage. So we are continuing to warm up. And again, we're looking at highs today, primarily in the upper 80s, but again, out to the west where it's getting a little warmer already. We'll see those highs go into the lower 90s across the area. And then we'll start to see some increasing cloud cover later in the afternoon, but this will be short-lived. Once this little batch of clouds moves on out, we'll clear out later in the evening and into the overnight hours, and that will allow us to get really cool tonight, at least one more time, as we'll eventually fall back in the lower 60s. So we're talking 81 by 8, 74 at 10, and down 69 by midnight, again ahead of that low, right around 61 degrees. Now, as we look ahead, it's an alarming thing to look ahead, but we've just been spoiled the last few days. We really have. It is summertime, it is August, and this is what's going to happen. So tomorrow, we're talking low 90s, so that does put us just a little above average in some locations, but not by much. Then Saturday, Sunday, and almost all of next week, yeah, it puts us well above average. This is what we're talking about. Saturday, Sunday, both highs around 99. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of 100-degree readings out there. And the good news is, again, at this point, humidity levels aren't going to be sky high. So we'll have heat index values, but they're going to push maybe, say, that 100 to 105 range, maybe a little over, but that still is dangerous enough. And I know there's a lot of festivals and things going on between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you have any plans this weekend, you need to make sure you're taking precautions, stay hydrated. You know the routine. Stay indoors if you can and limit your time outdoors otherwise. We're going to stay in the mid to upper 90s as we head through the majority of next week before we start to see a brief cool down, still above average temperatures, but at least not quite at 100 degrees by the end of next week. And we're going to see those the rain chances. We've got slight chance of an isolated storm or two Thursday evening, and then we've got a slightly better chance of some evening thunderstorms for us on Friday. But again, I know this is a long, hot, dry forecast, but don't worry, we're still looking at the above average precipitation. I just want to kind of reiterate that and remind folks that that is what we're looking at, is that above average precipitation later this summer and into the fall months. So we just got to get from here to there.
Good to know. Thanks, Chris. We'll bask up that heat. Well, stick around because we're making Tuscan one pot in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back.